This is Kite Cutter TV with another presentation. We gotta talk about this. Okay, guys, a new trial date has been set for Marvin Esquivel-Lopez, which is an illegal immigrant from Honduras. Marvin has been accused of killing 29-year-old Rossibeth Flores-Rodriguez and her two children, 11-year-old Grecia Daniela Flores and 5-year-old Jose Flores. Friends of Flores-Rodriguez said they thought Marvin had been very controlling of her and her children, but authorities believe there was no indication of the two being in a domestic relationship. Marvin Lopez stirred the pot on illegal immigration, having been deported from the United States twice before being charged with these 3 counts of first-degree murder. The court filing says his trial will begin on March 15, 2021 at 9 a.m. at the Polk County Courthouse. His previous trial date had been set for May 11, 2020. Also, a federal judge in New York ruled Saturday that Acting Department of Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf assumed his position unlawfully, a determination that invalidated Wolf's suspension of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program called DACA, which shields young people from deportation. Look, I'm not happy about this, but one thing I do, and I teach my kids also, is when you take a loss or make a mistake, acknowledge it, learn from it, and try not to make the same mistake again. Check this out.
Tonight's big story, new information on the killing of a Des Moines family this week. This is Rossibeth Flores-Rodriguez and her 2 children, Grecia and Ever. They were found shot to death inside their home in Des Moines on Tuesday night. The man investigators believe is responsible in their killings is Marvin Esquivel-Lopez. He's also known to the federal government as Marvin Escobar-Orellana. He appeared in Polk County Court today and is in jail on a $3 million bond. We continue our team coverage today in the newsroom and at the scene of the killings. Local 5's Rachel Droz has been talking to those who knew the victims, while Local 5's Lakin McGee has been learning more about the suspect's past. Rachel, what have we learned about Rosie, the mother found dead along with her 2 kids?
Friends and family of Rossibeth Flores-Rodriguez and her 2 children are absolutely devastated tonight. I spoke with one woman today that was lifelong friends with Rosie. Take a listen.
I still can't believe it. I understand the idea of coming to this country for a better future, to give her children a better future, and look at what happened.
That is the voice of one of Rosie's childhood friends. She asked we don't use her name for safety reasons, but says the 2 of them grew up together in Honduras.
We lost a great woman, a great mother, a woman that would give her life for her children, and without a doubt, that's what I believe happened. She gave her life for her children.
Rosie's friend says she never met Marvin Esquivel-Lopez. She says Rosie told her that she felt comfortable living with him and his family because Esquivel-Lopez lived with her mother for a short time in Honduras a few years ago. She said Rosie told her she felt safe there, something that now she can't believe.
Just living here is already hard enough. To not find a good job, to be discriminated, and to return to your country in a wooden box, when the only thing she was looking for was to move forward and see her children grow. Rosie didn't deserve this.
Rosie's friend says she moved to America with her children 5 months ago. She says Esquivel-Lopez offered her a job at a roofing company, a company police say they aren't aware of. Live in the newsroom, Rachel Droz, Local 5 News, We Are Iowa.
Trial date has been set for a man accused of shooting and killing a mother and her 2 children in Des Moines last summer. Marvin Oswaldo Escobar-Orellana's first-degree murder trial will begin March 15th. Court documents filed yesterday show this is ruled a priority case and will proceed in person. Escobar-Orellana is accused of killing 29-year-old Rossibeth Flores-Rodriguez, her 11-year-old daughter, and her 5-year-old son. They were living with the suspect and his family at the time. Prosecutors have not revealed a motive.
A local woman who came to the U.S. when she was just a teenager has been able to go to college and get a job because of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, also known as DACA. In fact, she's just one of 100,000 children that DACA has helped right here in Texas. Eyewitness News reporter Zach Briggs spoke with her about the new presidency and what she believes will be a greater opportunity to improve immigration laws.
These past 4 years have been filled with tension and anxiety for those protected by DACA. President Donald Trump has threatened to end the Obama-era program that shields 650,000 people from deportation.
We never knew what was going to happen. So it was a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty.
Jessica Azua came to the U.S. from Mexico undocumented when she was just 14 years old.
And I came here because my dad was already here. We had a conversation about the opportunities, about having better education, about learning English.
Azua's love for learning led to college and working with the Texas Organizing Project. She is the immigrations director there and advocates on behalf of minority communities. In a monumental decision earlier this year, the Supreme Court voted to block the Trump administration's efforts to abolish the program. And while there was much celebration, Azua says there are those who continue to be skeptical.
I feel like with Trump, he has done a lot of things that have no precedent. So it's still like we were still being cautious with this administration.
Then came the election and Saturday, November 7th.
I mean, as soon as I heard the news that Biden was now the new president-elect, I felt that I could finally exhale. I feel like I was holding my breath for the past 4 years.
President-elect Biden has laid out plans to reinstate DACA, but Azua stresses there's still a fight in the coming years to enact policies that create a pathway to citizenship.
Restoring DACA, like Biden has promised, is just the floor for us. What we want, and it's ultimately an immigration reform for the 11 million immigrants that live here.
Zach Briggs, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.
And in a developing situation today, we've learned the Department of Homeland Security did not have the authority to suspend DACA earlier this year. A federal judge says that's because Chad Wolf was not legally serving as the DHS secretary when he signed off on limiting protections for DACA recipients. As a result, those DACA rules are now invalid.
Our other top story tonight, a federal judge says top Homeland Security official Chad Wolf did not have the authority to restrict the DACA program earlier this year. The judge said Wolf was not lawfully serving as acting secretary of the DHS when he issued a memo limiting protections for Americans who qualified for DACA. The memo also indefinitely closed the program to new applicants. Wolf has been serving as acting secretary for the Department of Homeland Security, but has never officially been confirmed to the position, which is why the memo he drafted restricting DACA was an overreach of his authority. One of President-elect Joe Biden's major campaign promises was to reinstate DACA once he takes office, even answering questions about it during a presidential debate earlier this year.
Within 100 days, I'm going to send to the United States Congress a pathway to citizenship for over 11 million undocumented people. And all of those so-called dreamers, those DACA kids, they're going to be immediately certified again to be able to stay in this country and put on a path to citizenship.
The judge did not order the Trump administration to begin accepting DACA applications again. Right now, there are about 650,000 Americans who are part of DACA, protecting young immigrants who were brought into the country as children from deportation.
A federal judge in New York ruled acting Secretary of Homeland Security Chad Wolf has not been serving lawfully in that position, and therefore a recent move suspending protections for DACA recipients is invalid. Earlier this year, the White House announced new steps aiming to wind down legal protections for hundreds of thousands of immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children. They're often called dreamers. That move was ultimately blocked by the Supreme Court. Despite that, Wolf issued a memo instructing Homeland Security officials to continue their efforts to phase out the DACA program while prosecutors searched for a different way to end it altogether. It's a major legal win for the so-called dreamers and just another sign of hope as they prepare for what they call a friend in the White House in President-elect Joe Biden. NewsNation reporter John Engel breaks down what could be in store for the hundreds of thousands of dreamers.
Part of me just still a little cynical.
Ana Laura Gonzalez isn't ready to celebrate. Joe Biden's election lifted some pressure on DACA recipients, but she's wary of Congress approving comprehensive immigration reform. After starting a doctoral program for nurses in Fort Worth, Gonzalez wants to contribute to her community. but won't feel safe until there's a pathway to citizenship.
We are oftentimes used as leverage, or we are promised a lot of different things that don't come into play many times.
President Trump paused new applications for DACA and fought the policy in court. And while Texas Senator John Cornyn has advocated for a permanent solution, some Republicans have compared the program to amnesty. Immigration attorney Jason Finkelman says DACA recipients are depending on Biden to get Republicans on board. With the GOP potentially holding on to control of the Senate, the outcome is uncertain.
They have pinned their hopes on him to find some correction to this broken immigration system to help them.
DACA recipients like Pedro Villalobos in Austin say reinstating the program won't be enough, but they're optimistic and relieved.
We're just taking the moment in, we're celebrating, we're rejoicing, but we know that tomorrow there's going to be work that has to be done.
John Engel, News Nation, Austin.
Today, a federal judge ruled against the Department of Homeland Security's suspension of DACA, saying acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf was unlawfully appointed. Wolf has yet to be confirmed by the full Senate. President Trump nominated him over the summer, and Wolf issued a memo in July to suspend DACA protections for migrants who were illegally brought to the U.S. when they were children. The ruling invalidates Wolf's effort to limit applications and renewals for the Obama-era program.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, God bless. Peace.